Welcome to your lecture, Introduction to the Chakras. What are the chakras? Chakra in Sanskrit, an ancient language from India, it means wheel or circle. These energy centers, when balanced, spin and allow energy, or the kundalini, as we know it in yoga, to flow up the spine. So see that they start at the bottom, first chakra is at the bottom and builds on top of that to the seventh chakra at the top of the head. Chakras can become overactive, underactive, or even blocked, which can affect us both physically and emotionally. Each energy organ vibrates at its own frequency and spins at its own velocity. Information with speed faster than light is received as subtle energy and can be interpreted via the chakra. Information that moves at or is slower than the speed of light is received by the chakra as sensory and will impact physical reality. Our brainwaves usually oscillate between 0 and 100 hertz. Chakras vibrate at 100 to 1600 hertz. Electromyograph shows radiation from muscles at sites typically associated with chakras. Certain levels of consciousness are linked to specific frequencies. This image shows us the spectrum of light. So what we can see is just that tiny slice in the middle. There are gamma rays, X-rays, UV rays, infrared, microwave, FM and AM, and long radio waves. All of those things are happening around us, but we can't necessarily see it. The physical realm can affect our chakras, and our chakras can affect our physical reality. They are meant to work in harmony together. Chakras can be balanced through meditation, yoga, self-reflection, nutrition, energetic healing, crystals, being in a high vibration setting, or by taking a deeper look at your emotions. When the chakras are balanced, we feel our best and our bodies are in their healthiest state. The image to the right shows the Kundalini serpent, the energy snake, positioned at the base of the spine, flowing up through the Ida and Pingala nadis, the masculine and feminine or solar lunar channels of the body. The Sushumna nadi is the central channel through which the chakras exist. Locations of the chakras. The first is at the base of the spine, at the coccygeal plexus. The second, sacral chakra, is in the lower abdomen, genitals, low back, and hip area, right around the sacrum. The third, the solar plexus, is right there at the solar plexus in the upper abdomen. The fourth is in the heart. Fifth is in the throat. Sixth is in the brow. And the seventh, the crown chakra, is at the top of the head. How the chakras develop over our lifetime. This is based on a book from Harish Johari. Muladhara, the root chakra, develops between the ages of 0 and 7 years. Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra, develops between ages 8 and 15. Manipura, the solar plexus, develops between 16 and 21. Anahata, the heart chakra, between ages 22 and 29. Vishuddha, the throat chakra, ages 30 to 37. Ajna, the third eye, ages 38 to 45. And Sahasrara, the crown chakra, ages 46 to 55. So the Sanskrit names for the chakras, starting at the base of the spine, the root chakra, Muladhara. This is concerned with survival, our foundation of safety. The second, in the pelvic bowl, Svadhisthana, one's own abode. This is the sacral chakra, and it is concerned with sexuality, emotions, creativity. The third chakra, Manipura, solar plexus chakra, concerned with power. It means lustrous gem. The fourth chakra, Anahata, in the heart, means unhurt, and it is concerned with love. The fifth chakra in the throat, Vishuddha, means pure. It deals with communication. Sixth chakra in the third eye, Ajna, means perceive, and that is our intuition. Seventh chakra at the crown, Sahasrara, means 1,000-petaled, and that is our connection to the divine or our spirituality. Each chakra has an elemental association. The first at the base of the spine is earth, the root chakra. Second is the sacral chakra, water. Makes sense with our emotions, right? They're always flowing. Third is fire. That's where our digestion is. Fourth is air, the heart. This is kind of the space we need to keep spacious and flowing. I think of it as connecting the lower chakras, kind of the gateway to the upper chakras. The fifth is the throat, ether. That is also space. This chakra is commonly one of the most blocked or constricted. Sixth is light in the third eye. That's where we can see things, our intuition. And seventh is thought, time and space, concerned with thought. Each chakra is associated with a state of being, and our state of being is determined by our hormones. Our hormones are secreted by glands. So the first chakra is concerned with survival, and these are connected to the adrenal glands. Second chakra is sexuality, emotions, and this is connected to our reproductive glands. The third is power and will, and this is connected to our digestion. Fourth is love, relationships, connected to our immunity. What's interesting about the thymus gland is that we have it when we're born, and it shrinks as we approach puberty. So it gives us all the most important immunity responses that we need when we're young. So it's kind of interesting symbolization of how we tend to close our heart a little bit, maybe as we get older versus when we're children. The fifth chakra, the throat, is in communication, or deals with communication, and is connected to the thyroid gland. So that deals with our metabolism, taking things in and putting them back out. You've heard of hyper and hypothyroidism, which represent an over or under functioning of our metabolism. The sixth chakra, the third eye, is connected to the pituitary gland, or the master gland. This controls the functioning of all the other glands. And the seventh, the crown, is concerned with awareness. In the pineal gland, controls the release of melatonin, which keeps us connected to the circadian rhythm of day and night and sleeping and waking cycles, as well as states of nature, the seasons and times of day and such. Orientation to self is expressed in the first chakra as self-preservation. Second is self-gratification. Third, self-definition. Fourth, self-acceptance. Fifth, self-expression. Sixth, self-reflection. 7th, self-knowledge. Goals for the chakras. I often think of the chakras like the little Tamagotchi pets, the little digital pets that we had back in the day, the 80s, 90s. Like these little pets you got to take care of. They all need different things. So the root chakra, first chakra, needs stability, grounding, physical health, prosperity, and trust. The second, in the sacral chakra, needs fluidity, pleasure, healthy sexuality, feeling. Third, in the solar plexus, is vitality, spontaneity, strength of will, purpose, self-esteem. Fourth, in the heart, balance, compassion, self-acceptance, good relationships. Fifth, clear communication, creativity, resonance. Sixth, psychic perception, accurate interpretation, imagination, and clear seeing. Seventh, in the crown, wisdom, knowledge, consciousness, spiritual connection. If and when we feel the inner critic taking over, it's important to remind ourselves that we have rights just by principle of being here. So in the first chakra, we remind ourselves that we have the right to be here, to have. The second, we remind ourselves that we have the right to feel and to want. In the third chakra, we remind ourselves that we have the right to act. In the fourth, we have the right to love and be loved. The fifth, we have the right to speak and be heard. The sixth, we have the right to see. Seventh, we have the right to know. Through the lens of the chakras, we can start to identify different parts of our personality and identity. The first is our physical identity. The second is our emotional identity. The third is the ego identity. Fourth, social identity. Fifth, creative identity. Sixth, archetypal identity. And seventh is the universal identity. So you can think of the demons as the shadow or the things that can cause our chakras to become blocked. The first is fear. The second is guilt. The third is shame. The fourth is grief. The fifth is lies. The sixth is illusion. And the seventh is thought. Symptoms of excess in the first chakra might be heaviness, sluggishness, feelings of monotony, obesity, hoarding, materialism, and greed. So the root chakra is concerned with safety, survival. When it's out of balance, we usually end up in a scarcity mindset, feelings of competition. The second chakra, overly emotional, poor boundaries, sex addiction, and obsessive attachment. So the second chakra is our center of emotions. The third chakra, our power chakra, in excess can be dominating, controlling, aggressive, scattered, and constantly active. The fourth, in our heart, can show up as codependency, poor boundaries, possessiveness, and jealousy. In the fifth, in our throat, can show up as excessive talking, the inability to listen, and stuttering. The sixth, in our third eye, can be headaches, nightmares, hallucinations, delusions, difficulty concentrating. The seventh, in our crown, overly intellectual, spiritual addiction, confusion, and dissociation. Symptoms of deficiency in the first chakra can present as fearful, undisciplined, restless, underweight, and spacey. The second chakra, frigid, impotent, rigid, emotionally numb, fearful of pleasure. In the third, in the solar plexus, weak will, poor self-esteem, passive, sluggish, fearful. Fourth, in the heart, shy, lonely, isolated, lack of empathy, bitter, critical. The fifth, in the throat, fear of speaking, poor rhythm, loss of ability to understand or express speech. Sixth, in the third eye, poor memory, poor vision, unimaginative, denial. Seventh, crown chakra, learning difficulties, spiritual skepticism, limited beliefs, materialism, and apathy. Though all of the chakras are always functioning, each age-related developmental stage has chakra skills that are learned and incorporated into the personality, evolving sequentially from bottom to top. However, chakra development is not only a hierarchical process, it is also spherical, with all of the chakras influencing each other simultaneously. Balances or imbalances in any one chakra will have effects in chakras both above and below. Here is a handy chart explaining the chakras, their location, their color, their life principles, the organ systems of the body, how to balance them, what are symptoms of excess and of depletion, crystals and yoga poses that can help. If you're ready to go deeper, try this activity. Create a timeline of the significant events in your life and examine how these events may have influenced the development of your chakras. Create a visual representation of your timeline, whatever medium makes sense to you. See an example on the next slide. Here's an example of my chakra timeline. You can see in the first chakra, ages 0 to 7, this is the root chakra. It's concerned with survival, safety, stability, grounding. I moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in that first section of my life. So you can see that my root chakra may have been affected. I didn't really get a sense of like grounding and stability. I also had an absent abusive father, so that was another source of instability in my life. In my sacral chakra development, I moved 4 more times, And this is connected to my emotions and my creativity. I learned about Jane Fonda. I got really into workout tapes. My mom was really critical and anxious. I kind of moved away from my emotional side. I got involved in athletics. I played around with disordered eating, and I had my first boyfriend at age 15. And let's see, in my power chakra, my seat of power and will and discipline, that's the first time that I had sex. I got in some trouble. I was grounded. I went to college. My parents got a divorce. I dropped out of college. I was really trying to find my power in this time. I moved again. I met my second boyfriend and I began bartending. All right. And so on, so on and so forth. You can kind of check that out. But really, this is about you creating your own timeline. You can go as shallow or as deep into it. This is really just a process, an opportunity for you to reflect and get better acquainted with some of the developmental events of your life.